Hello everyone, my name is Michelle and welcome to my channel. I make time-lapse videos of how I did my paintings. Today I'm going to paint a tiger. This will be part 1 of 2 videos. This video will show how I did the underpainting of the tiger. Let's get started. I first draw my tiger on a paper and transferred it to the canvas. After which I sprayed it with fixative to make sure it doesn't disappear when I rub in the first layer of color with a sponge. I used raw umber, which was mixed with Sensador and a little bit of linseed oil. I then wiped off the excess with a piece of fabric. Next, I was to lift the paint from the canvas for the light area on the tiger. For this, I used a variety of tools such as brushes, cotton buds, paper towel, and also erasers. I would dip my brush with a bit of medium and dab it dry on a piece of paper towel before trying to lift the color of the canvas. I have not done many underpaintings like this, still trying to learn the techniques. I tried using cotton bud, but it didn't seem to be too effective. Dipping the brush in the medium and use that to lift the paint off is my favorite way. When lifting the paint off the canvas, I would frequently dab the brush on a piece of paper towel so that the paint would be absorbed by it. Otherwise, the lifting would become less and less effective because the brush would be then laden with paint already. I also used kneadable eraser to lift the paint off the canvas. Kneadable eraser comes in really handy in this process. You can adjust the amount of paint to lift off from the canvas by adjusting the pressure you put on the kneadable eraser. Then I started to put in the darker tones on the tiger, starting from the eyes. Here I used another type of eraser to lift paint off the newly painted area for some fine lines around the eyeball. Subsequently, I filled in the rest of the darker areas on the tiger. I noticed my paint had almost dried after I lifted up most of the light areas on the tiger, so there wasn't much I can lift off from the background anymore. I suppose this is because my canvas wasn't oil primed but gesso primed. The paint was absorbed and dried faster on a gesso primed canvas. I have not painted many paintings with underpaintings such as this. I must say I am not very used to it. I find myself being too rigid when painting subsequent colored layers, which will be shown in the next coming video. It felt like I'm painting those paint by numbers painting and tend to paint within the lines, which means I tend to create stiff lines around the different shapes of color or tone, which means subsequently I need to spend more time having to rectify the stiff edges. All in all, I haven't really grasped the essence and beauty of doing underpainting. Still need more practice for this. That's all for this video. Please consider to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video where I paint in the color layers for this tiger. See you, bye!